Women and children sold for sex and labor, and some of them do not survive it.
Judge just signed the order, and Natalie's mother, Beth, was in the courtroom along with her attorney, Dave Holloway, Natalie's father, with his attorney.
Organ trafficking, sex trafficking, illegal adoptions.
It's a business, and the younger the women are, the more money they're worth.
Life and what is happening to them is wrong, and that there is hope and there is help out there.
Human trafficking. It's the crime occurring on every street of cities across the country.
Now, if you want something really young, that 200 will cost you, just cost a little more than that.
Sure.
But how young you talking? Talk to me.
Well, how young do you have?
Well, I don't have nothing younger than 14.
To the untrained eye, however, trafficking is often hard to see. The general public can easily tune out hot spots, like strip clubs, motels, and truck stops.
I was picked up by a pimp when I was 19.
She's the victim, she says, of sexual slavery.
Part of the trap is that I didn't imagine that there was a way out.
Got up to walk around the room and turned around, and his whole demeanor changed. He got very stern, very straight, and told me to strip.
Right now, what happens in our country is a kid is involved in the sex trade, traumatized by her traffickers, rescued by law enforcement, handcuffed and put in detention centers across the U.S.
Human trafficking numbers are hard to tabulate. Victims, he says, often don't trust authorities, or they're too afraid of their pimps to talk.
Snatched from the safety of our neighborhood and sold for sex. It's happening to some of the most innocent victims, kids.
Kids are being snatched from their neighborhoods and being sold.
She says most, if not all, of the girls advertised in the adult services section of Craigslist are underage girls forced into prostitution to make money for their pimps.
One young girl, 14 years old, that's in our shelter now, her mother sold her when she was 2 years old.
Same thing. Yeah. Okay, here. Let's see this. They don't know the difference. The city of St. Louis now has a district attorney just for sex trafficking, so people are becoming aware of it, but there are no facilities for these girls to go to. They go straight to foster families, but they're not prepared for the trauma that these girls have experienced. And the Covering House has a specific written program just for sex trafficking victims, the first in its country, really. Parents, what they call giveaway children, where the parents are hooked on drugs, they will basically pimp out their own child. House will be accepting girls from 18 below, so minors. You could check this out. Yeah. What listen to that too? Oh. The youngest victim rescued recently was 10 years old.
I want to be a CSI person, crime scene investigator.
A nurse in the NICU, like with the little babies. In an urban population, but also, I mean, a lot of the sex trafficking, several cases recently have been Jefferson County, Franklin County, you know, out in the outlying where it's even harder to see. I have a daughter that was a wild child, and it was scary to have her out there.
In 2004, the FBI program Stormy Nights saved more than a dozen children from a prostitution ring operating at Oklahoma City truck stops.
That lack of visibility tends to discourage public awareness.
Girls are normally worth about $250,000 a year to a trafficker.
Vicky Zito's 17-year-old daughter was kidnapped from a Safeway parking lot.
This time 2 years ago, there were missing persons posters. Sorry. And my daughter all over this area.